You have a young, busy social life. After work, you may feel exhausted. You may have children. You may have several, or one, or none. You get upset when they're sick and crying all the time. They don't mind you at all. You feel like you've nowhere else to go. As being a parent, I know how frustrating and tiresome it can be. As a victim of child abuse, I would like to share with you the effects and treatment of child abuse. The CDC in Prevention Harm defines child maltreatment as an act or series of neglect, physical, emotional, or sexual abuse. Neglect is the lack of food, lack of love and attention, knowledge and information. Physical abuse. You may see it as signs of striking, burn marks, and bruises. Also, bodily transmission, which has fetal alcohol syndrome. You drinking the alcohol can make your child come out with, and that is called abuse. Sexual abuse. Sexual adult acts between a child and adult. You hear of it on the news all the time. We all know it's inappropriate. You just don't do that. You're also violating that child's privacy, and you're exposing them at a very early age. Psychological abuse. Belittling and shaming them, telling them things they can't do and making fun of them. Extreme punishment. Punishing the child for no reason beyond not doing chores. It's unacceptable. Withholding love. Never showing affection toward the child at all. No education or self-esteem building. You withhold them from education that they have a right to know, and you don't even tell them if they're doing a good job, if they are or not. Child abuse happens in every city and state, around every corner, and we just don't know it. Just let me tell you how much it does happen. The USA and the United Kingdom ranks lowest among first world nations in the child ranks of well-being. 54% was physical, 22% is sexual, 8% neglect, and 4% of unmentionable acts of abuse. Just think about it. It's more common among single-parent families. In the 1800s, abuse was dominant. Public acts of spanking or smacking your child just because they're not listening, or they're talking during the grocery store, or just throwing a fit because they wanted something. People just done that out in public. In the 1950s, children's aid became in place. Adults actually stood up for the rights of children, saying that they do have a say-so in what goes on. The CDC in prevention shows that 1 in 50 infants are exposed to abuse. I mean, you might get mad because your child's crying. Some parents are, they'll do that to a child, things that we just don't do. 91,000 cases between 2005 and 2006 that were actually reported of child abuse. The effects: psychiatric, trauma, non-responsive, they become withdrawn, disattaching themselves from things that they love and people that may remind them. Acting out, disruptive behavior, kicking, screaming for no reason, and anxiety and depression. Child that never smiles, never wants to go anywhere, have anything to do. Dante Cicchetti, University of Wisconsin, Professor of Early Childhood and Education Development. He gives that results of 80% of infants show disorganized attachment. It also shows physical health problems, head pain, abdominal pain, and even unidentifiable pain. The child gives no reason of why they could be hurting. Emotional abuse, sexual abuse, they demonstrate adult depressive symptoms such as bipolar disorder and post-traumatic stress disorder, very common in these victims. Same also shows with them witnessing domestic abuse. They may grow up to resent a parent. They may also become disattached to both parents, seeing both of them interact with each other in such a negative way. There is something you can do to protect children from being abused. Be informed and be aware. There's nothing you can do to try to stop this abuse from happening, but you can protect the child that it's happened to and get them the help they need. The abuser needs to change before the cycle stops. Treatment. There is help available to the abuser and the victim. Both people can go through trauma-focused cognitive behavior therapy, and also the child and parent can go through cognitive psychotherapy together where they can learn. I hope with this I have shared with you many of the effects and treatments of child abuse and also the statistics. Child abuse can affect families of every race, origin, size in every city, nation, and country in this world. I hope that next time you hear about child abuse, you might reflect and think about what I have said today in my speech. Thank you.